Ladies and gentlemen, James Orengo is clearly a man on a mission.
The 25th shall be a public holiday. We don't need to beg for permission. And there is also a demand for an apology. That apology must come quick and fast before the 25th.
And the biggest question is, what is James Orengo up to?
In your 80s now, where are you?
Now I'm 76 now.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
And where do you get this source of energy from?
Well, if you keep your mind alive, and keep the right company, eat the right food, watch your diet, do exercises, you'll be like I look.
When I'm 76. I got 50.
Is James Orengo out to revenge against Oburu Odinga and the ODM brigades?
I don't care whether somebody goes and declares himself a party leader. Party leader, you can be a party leader of the trees, you can be party leader of the birds, of any other party, but you are certainly not the party leader of ODM. Oburu Odinga is the elected party leader of ODM. And if you think you have any other way of taking this thing, I tell you, oh.
Or is James Orengo being used by the deep state to sabotage the opposition?
I am the most senior politician in Kenya. I am the most senior politician in Kenya. Mimi nilichaguliwa na Matiba na Kibaki. So what I'm going to say today is to make sure we succeed.
Because yesterday, the Gen Zs protested in the Republic of Kenya. And one thing was very clear. James Orengo was right at the center of those protests. But again, another thing which was clear and most people did not take note of was the fact that James Orengo was actually sabotaged by fellow opposition leaders. Rigathi Gachagua failed to show up and advised his supporters not to turn up because James Orengo had assumed the leadership of the leadership of the protest. Because if the protest had succeeded, all credits would have gone to James Orengo. I know most of you will disagree with me, but in due time, I'm 100% sure that you will agree. Why do you think the entire Linda Wananchi brigades failed to show up for this particular event? It was pure sabotage. It means there is something which James Orengo is looking for, and Kenyans don't know. In this video, I want us to understand what James Orengo is trying to do and what he's looking for ahead of 2027 general election. Before we do that, in case you're watching this channel for the first time, take a second or two, click the subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. Ladies and gentlemen, what do you think James Orengo is up to? For me, I have the following theories. I know one or two of them might be wrong, but majority of them are true. Number one, James Orengo wants to become the Luo Kingpin. And the question then is, why is he going outside the Luo nation? The truth is, for you to become a Luo Kingpin, you must also have a national image. Orengo is known. He has a national image already. And you are seeing him moving across the country. So the truth is, James Orengo is trying to fit the shoe of Raila Odinga. He wants to project the image of a national figure, a Luo who can run for the presidency, a Luo who can easily fit the shoes of Raila Odinga. That's why he's been trying to copy-paste whatever Raila Odinga has been trying to do. Orengo announced that yesterday was going to be a public holiday. The only person who has always announced public holiday in the Republic of Kenya has always been none other than Raila Odinga. So if you are to ask me, Orengo is keen on becoming the next Luo Kingpin. That's why he's moving around. Orengo hardly stays in Siaya. Where was Orengo today? Where was Orengo yesterday? Where was Orengo the day before? And he's been to Homa Bay, Kisumu, Migori. He's busy. He wants to be the next Luo Kingpin. Because let us look at the people who are likely to be the next Luo Kingpin. There is Mbadi, number one. There is Babu Owino, who was actually at the top there. But I think the politics in Linda Wananchi has dented a bit of his image, politically speaking, because right now he's falling below Orengo and below Sifuna. The other person who must be watched keenly is Raymond Omolo. He's doing a lot of things on the ground, and also his image is shining nationally. Then Gladys Wanga, to some extent, because she's trying to be the next deputy president of the Republic of Kenya. So Orengo feels that out of that group, he is the most qualified. And that's why the other day, he reminded Pauline Njoroge that in the Republic of Kenya, he is the most qualified. In fact, even reminded Gladys Wanga at some point. So number one. Number two, I'm looking at the now Raila succession politics within ODM party. You see, ODM party, after the death of Raila Odinga, nominated Oburu Odinga as the party leader. Orengo said no. Sifuna said no. Babu Owino said no. As things stand today, Sifuna might actually leave ODM party. I listened to my friend Godfrey Otsosi, and from the advice which he gave Sifuna, because he's very close to Sifuna, I'm tempted to believe that's the direction Sifuna is going to take. Sifuna is going to bolt out. Will Orengo bolt out with Sifuna? I doubt. He's trying to remain. Babu Owino actually left ODM even before Raila Odinga passed on. So Orengo believes that within ODM party, he can actually make noise and then be able to remove Oburu Odinga as the party leader. And number three, which I think could be his strategy, and that's why most people believe that Orengo is probably working for the government, that is creating tension for him to be called to the negotiating table. And if you want to know the person who mastered this art was Raila Odinga. If you look at Raila Odinga, anytime he entered into coalition arrangement or merger, it has always been after tension, after protest. So I think Orengo is making the situation for William Ruto to see the need to invite him to the negotiating table. Don't say I didn't tell you this. If William Ruto were to talk to Oburu Odinga, Gladys Wanga, Junet Mohamed, to bring Orengo on board, and Orengo is given the prominence, I think James Orengo will easily take that role. So I want to assume that he's doing all this to force ODM to the table. Then he's going to put his demands. Remember, was it last month? He placed some demands on the table. The moment he placed those demands, it simply means that he was willing to work with these people. If tomorrow these guys were to agree that out of the 4 demands you're putting on the table, we negotiate and give and take, he will easily do that. That's my take. And importantly, I'm looking at the 2027 presidential election. Orengo is up to something. I want to assume that Orengo is hoping that Linda Wananchi will produce a presidential candidate. Because Raila Odinga made a statement that who told you? Sifuna wants to run for the presidency, but I know he can give way for Orengo. So Orengo could be looking at 2027 presidential bid. But if that will not work in his favor, because I don't think it will work in his favor, Orengo is also trying to position himself as a running mate. and I'm very specific on this, a running mate to none other than Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka. Yesterday, you saw Orengo Wamalwa was Martha Karua there. If you look at that team was part of Azimio. So which means Orengo is moving away from Siaya back to the national politics. But again, at the national politics is now outgrowing Linda Wananchi. Because if there's one thing Linda Wananchi has always tried to avoid is to meet with this other group. Yesterday, Orengo met with those group. So there's a message he is sending. He's positioning himself to become running mate. And lastly, this could be an exit strategy from politics. Orengo is a governor. A governor is executive. You would hardly see a governor going to the street while he has resources to manage. But we are seeing Orengo going to the streets. We are seeing Orengo not focusing on Siaya. Those are the realities. It means probably he knows that the ground in Siaya is slippery. And because the ground in Siaya is slippery, he's looking for a safe exit. Let me come to the national platform, offer myself for the presidency. If not, let me become the running mate. If you win, the better. But if you don't win, I'll say, I didn't lose in Siaya. I lost the presidential or the running mate ticket. I don't know what you think, but that's my take. Until next time, this is Lee Makwiny. Bye-bye.